This is the dumbest can opener I've ever seen. Like, what in the world? Oh,
That's your beer opener. There, it's a little better.
that's it.
That's the magic.
There it is. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike,
And I'm Ray.
and this is the Know Nothings
Episode
51. 51.
Not 52? So,
It's 51.
what you drinking over there, Barney?
I've got Barney, which is Purple Haze and Andy Gator
You're
in
not familiar
one.
with that's a Louisiana brewery, a Beta.
Yeah. But they have it everywhere.
Yeah, it's nationwide at least. I don't know if it's worldwide, but
I don't know. I've been to Atlanta and they had it.
yeah.
So
Purple Haze and what?
Andy Gator.
Is it actually better than those individually? I like those
Yes,
individually. They're
it
good beers.
actually is. I don't like Andy Gator. I do like Purple Haze, but the Barney's better than. It's weird you take those two, and you put them together, and it tastes better.
Makes magic.
So, here's up to a beat of beer, I guess.
Here's to 51. 51 Know Nothings. We didn't have a lot of 50 content. You said there was no content on 50?
I don't know. I don't like when we get off into like gender women stuff.
Yeah.
We're two white dudes and we're talking about how we don't like women singers and stuff. I just don't want to plaster that all over the internet.
Just felt like it was a bad look.
This is maybe
I think that's but
I think there's an argument for it because like, hey, who are your top favorite singers? Are any of them women? No. Does that make me a sexist? No.
well, no.
But people would say that.
But yeah, I know. But we should.
And here we are again.
Yeah, because I don't want to feel like that's the whole point of podcasts to be able to talk. I don't think we said anything that's crazy.
I don't either, but I don't know. I mean, I'll go back and put them all on there. I mean, even if you say things and people argue and are aggravated, that's a good thing too.
I don't even remember what we said. It's been like a month or 3 weeks.
Oh, I don't know. I recently
Were we
went
talking
back
about female singers?
singers, and we were like, oh, really? Because I'm not really into female singers. Maybe like a couple.
Right. Same.
But I just like it doesn't. I'm not. It's not being sexist. I just don't for whatever reason.
It just doesn't resonate.
Because I like Fiona Apple. She's awesome. So maybe it's like the music.
I like Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks.
I like Lita Ford.
Yeah.
I like the Runaways.
I like the Runaways. Awesome. All awesome. And then we started talking about like
Then it kind of
rappers.
goes downhill fast for me, and the rappers for sure.
Yeah. And the funny thing is I work out on Oculus. I do this thing called Supernatural, and you have like these bats, and it has boxing, and like my favorite ones to do it to are the Nicki Minaj songs and all those women rapper songs. They're fun to work out to on that, but I don't jump in my car and ride down the road with the windows down.
Well, if you're doing it that way,
listening to Nicki Minaj because like it kind of looks kind of funny.
Well, you're still if you're enjoying it playing the game. I mean, you're still giving streams to them, and
Yeah,
I just don't.
Oops.
Yeah, I didn't say I don't have anything against female rappers. I just didn't. It just doesn't resonate the same with me. I think that's okay to say.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know. It was just weird for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this artwork, like Alex Gray artwork we got going on. Do you like Tool?
Of course. Who doesn't like Tool?
But you're not you're not a fanatic, are you? Like me.
I'm not a fanatic, but I'm a fan.
You don't buy $500 foils at their shows, do you?
No, that
whatever they are. I don't know.
Yeah, Tool's probably to you like Sabbath is to me, but
yeah. Well, Sabbath is to Sabbath what Sabbath is to me.
Well, yeah, that's true too. I mean, Tool's
Roll in the sky.
Tool's a big. I mean, I love Tool. I just don't like
Maynard.
No, it's not that I don't like Maynard. I don't like the way I don't like the way he's a front man. I love the way he writes. I love the way he sings. But in concert, I don't love it. I don't.
That he's in the background.
Yeah.
You just want, you want him out there.
Yeah.
And being like, I'm the.
And I know that's like the antithesis of what Tool is. Like they're the anti rock star guy, but like at the end of the day,
but that's a whole thing that you do on purpose.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
That's a whole like. We're not really down with like showing our faces.
I don't like being rich and famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I live in the Hollywood Hills. Oh, the Hollywood sign behind my house.
Or at my vineyard.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm getting rid of my $30 million Hollywood home.
I want to
live the easy life. Like $2 million home.
Yeah, shit. There ain't no $2 million homes in L.A.
No.
I think Tool. I think Tool was a game changer to me, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like if I'm making a list of like 25 bands that like changed music, or like that, you know, if you start in the beginning with like Chuck Berry and just kind of go through.
And
I mean, Tool ends up on that list somewhere.
Tool's really cool because they did it twice, actually. Tool, when they came out with their first 2 albums, the first one I think is kind of like an EP, and then the next one, Undertow.
Yeah, amazing.
Then the next one, they got rid of their bass player and got Justin Chancellor from a band in England called Peach, and he started writing all their music on the bass for Inema. And whenever you heard something going on cool on Inema, you thought it was the guitar.
It was the bass.
It was the bass guitar.
That's right.
And he changed their sound completely. And they got into all. That's where him and Danny Carey locked in and got into all those weird polyrhythms and all that kind of stuff.
Danny Carey, he's got to be a top. I think he's a top 10 drummer on anyone's list.
And he's so normal. He like goes to like his alma mater college and plays the drums in the stands with the band, then goes to the airport and gets arrested for being drunk. He's just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
And when he talks, he's normal.
Well, that was kind of Tool's appeal, right? Like they weren't trying to be rock stars. That's what I was talking about. But like the way he.
Well, first off, you didn't even know in the 90s what they looked like. All of their videos were stop motion done by Adam Jones, the guitarist, because he worked in Hollywood.
It was all that claymation stuff. They did a bunch of claymation and, excuse me.
As an effects guy, he did effects and masks and stuff, and that's what he did. And then he did their videos. And so you never knew what they looked like unless you went to their concert. And then when you get to their concert, the stage isn't even lit up.
They were pushing.
And Maynard's in the back, like you said. You're like, what are these guys fucking look
like?
Now,
if you're going for a light show, I felt like it was tremendous.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great laser show.
You seen the newer one where they hang the curtain and they project images on like these lines?
The last time I saw him was with you, like probably 15 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I saw him right before COVID, and and me and my son Noah went, and we sat right on the edge of the stage, on this, not in the pit where the seats are, but on the edge of the stage, up about 8 places, and Maynard was right there on this side of the stage. So it was like Maynard was right in front of us.
Yeah.
Closer to us than he was to anybody down there.
And he doesn't really engage the crowd either.
No. He always says some like weird stuff here and there.
Yeah, I mean, but I like
that.
People that like banter. I like my frontmen to banter.
Oh, really? I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, save it for the podcast. I want to hear the music. You know what I mean?
No, I want to hear a song, and then I want you put so much energy, and you're singing or you're moshing or you're doing whatever. So there's like this outlay of energy for the song. Then you're like, whew, you want like a minute.
You do?
Yeah.
You like storytellers.
I love storytellers. Yeah.
I don't know. Maynard, he'll be like, the only thing, he'll never say anything. And like one time, me and Jeffrey saw him in Houston. And front row, we were in the front center, and we were standing beside like Adam Jones's wife and her bodyguard, big dude, and they were all wondering who we were. When we got there, they like escorted it. We showed them our tickets. They escorted us to the beer thing. We went in front of everyone in beer line, and everybody was like, "Who are these guys?" Just because I had bought the tickets online in like 2007.
Yeah.
And they were like $600 or something a piece, which was a lot for back then for front row.
Yeah.
They were like on an auction, and I got them on an auction for $600 each.
Yeah.
And now I checked it just the other day for a front row seat.
$2,000.
Getting there, it was like $1,800.
Yeah.
They were like ranging in the pit around $1,200 to $1,800.
In about 15 years, it's about tripled.
But the only thing Maynard said all night was right before he did the, I think the pot.
Yeah.
Right before he did that, he goes, it just in the microphone. He goes, "FYI, I'm still sick." And then they went into the pot because he goes, "Who are you?" It's the one where his register's higher.
Oh yeah.
Than any other song that he ever does. Weird, but
I love that song.
I love that song, and I love Tool, and I'd love to go see him, but I'm not paying money to go see him.
I'm not paying $1,000 to see anybody. The prices of these shows right now, like
I ain't paying over $100 to sit in nosebleeds.
I've seen hundreds of bands, and I'm just not. I just can't justify. I mean, maybe because I'm not rich, but I can't pay $300. I'm not paying $300 to go.
I got other things I like to buy, like I love
going to shows. That was my thing, and I still love going to shows. But man, you used to get $50. You could go see anybody.
Yeah,
anybody.
You could go see anybody.
That ship has sailed for sure.
Did I tell you what my first concert was?
Uh-uh.
I was probably 10, 11.
Yeah.
And
is this going to count as a concert, or is this going to be like the Teletubbies or something?
No, it's a concert. It was
the Wiggles.
No, it's even better than that. It was called Fishnet. Mm-hmm. It was in Washington, D.C. It was a Christian Fishnet, like a Christian Woodstock.
Were they like, was it it was all Christian rock bands?
Christian rock bands, pop bands, all that. And
how bad was it?
I don't know. I was 10, so probably I was kind of into it. Like Carmen and Amy Grant.
Oh.
And the one that really got me was White Cross. They're like
Sounds
a
intense.
Christian Motley Crue. And the other day, driving back from Georgia, I was like, it popped in my head, and I was like, let me see if White Cross is on old Apple iTunes.
Do you know?
And I listened to it. Pretty damn good.
I've told you the Hank Hill quote on Christian rock. Remember when he was? Did you ever? Did I tell you that? You ever seen that episode of King of the Hill when Bobby joins the Christian rock band? Mm-mm. And Hank comes out and he's like, he hates it. It's so bad. He's just pissed off about the whole situation, right? But he's like, Christian rock is not making Christianity better. It's just making rock and roll worse.
Oh my god! These guys, White Cross, though, look them up. They like
no.
They are a
no.
Yeah, no, they're like they were a Christian Motley Crue.
So they're like
they sounded
what
like
era
Motley Crue.
the early era glam.
The glam era. Yeah, the glam era.
Like the 85, like the Theater Pain type era, where they're really glammed out in like the pink and the...
Yeah, and they're like, it's like, red light, a warning in the night. Yeah. Listen to Jesus, he'll treat you right. Yeah. You know, like that.
Yeah.
And like, like one notes are off from the original song.
Yeah, so if you ordered Motley Crue on Wish or something.
Motley Crue Temu.
Yeah. Or Motley Crue as they are now, the iteration.
I'm seeing all these things online where like shows Axl Rose like barely being able to get a word out on stage. He's like, and I'm gonna hey, and everybody's like, what are you saying? Man, I'm just like, is that real or is somebody?
I think some. I saw him, I guess 8 years ago, and he was magnificent.
Yeah,
for a 50-year-old, you know, like maybe, is he ever? He's not 27, but he's not 27-year-old Axl. It's not like when I saw him then. Yeah, but he was still way better than what I'm seeing online right now. So I think some of it's so bad. I'm like, it's got to be doctored.
It's got to be doctored. Some of it's so bad. I believe it's like, this isn't real. There's no way people are like not talking because
Slash or Duff or somebody be making a face or something like, what the? You just can't help it. If it was that bad live, you'd be like, yo.
You'd be like, man, do you need a bottle of water or Clorox or something? What's going on with you? You know, and then I see like Jared Leto like jumping off the top of stages and stuff for his music. Yeah, he's like doing all this like stuff where he's like on top of the stage and he's hooked up to something and he like jumps off and it slows him down and he hits the ground. Yeah, and I'm just like,
I don't even know if I don't know if I'd know a Jared Leto song if I heard one.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Oh, I know. Yeah. But I always forget.
Yeah, but those like I don't really listen to any of their new stuff, but their old stuff rocks. But
is he doing solo stuff or are you talking about 30 Seconds to Mars?
It's 30 Seconds to Mars. Yeah. Everybody's back and they want money.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you can get it.
It's
like, how much are people paying for concert tickets? Oh, let me call the boys. Twist that towards you, the bass. Twist the bass. Yeah, get it lined up with it.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody's back on the road because it's what would you say, $100,000 a night for them? Living a band like that?
30 seconds? Do you think they're getting that much?
Find out. They're getting something.
That would surprise me if they're getting 100 grand's big boy money. I mean, 30 Seconds to Mars is pretty big, right?
They're pretty big. Jared Leto's a huge star.
Yeah, I know.
He's like does it all, you know. I mean, have you watched the Super Mario movie?
I
don't know when it came out because I didn't give a fuck about it, but then I saw.
Oh shit!
No. Yeah, what is it?
500 to 750.
There you go. That's what I was saying. Like, I thought I was lowballing with 100. So it's
I didn't realize 30 Seconds
$1,000.
to Mars is that big.
Yeah. I mean, maybe all over the world. Hey, I'm very big in Canada and in Australia. I've had 20 plays each.
Yeah, that's awesome.
20 people have listened.
Tell the folks about your new song.
Which one?
Thanks but no tanks.
Thanks but no tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new song.
It's
What do you want me? I don't know. Just
tell them to go check it out on Spotify,
oh, yeah.
Apple
Well,
Music,
you tell
and YouTube.
them. You're my manager. You tell them.
Go check out Hinkle's new release, Thanks But No Tanks, on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you stream music.
Do it. If you like punk
There,
music.
we just made it. It was free ad right there.
Free ad.
We'll just clip that little part out. Clip that part out where I said that and just put that out everywhere.
Do you like antics from punk bands and writing funny things
That are wild and crazy guys.
Wild and crazy. Then listen to Hinkle.
That's that 3 songs you have out already?
3.
In 6 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, I could probably do it faster than that.
I know that's more than you put out in 20 years.
I know.
You had a thousand things written. You finally started. We finally got you to figure out how to get on DistroKid and just start getting okay, we can get this shit out.
Upload it.
I can record it. I can upload it. I'm getting it out.
Yeah.
Why not? You now have, what was it? 289 people or 400 and something?
400, and you said 400 and some listeners this month?
Pretty impressive with no.
Is it?
I mean, I think with nobody saying anything about it,
never
no marketing,
told anybody
just
anything.
putting it out there in the ether. I mean, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe
it's a lot more than some. Remember when we were looking up how many listeners people had on Spotify?
Oh, yeah.
It's people had like 1. I mean, your mom is not even listening to you if you got 1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you listening and no one else.
Yeah.
1.
There's some with less than 1.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll die down. It'll get to the 1 numbers.
Not if you couldn't keep. Yeah, it will, but not if you keep putting releases out.
Mm-hmm.
And if
I've got another one in the gun, ready to go.
What's it going to be called?
I don't have a title for it yet.
So we've got Party Pooper, Thanks But No Tanks, and I Sold My Soul from Middle Management.
Yep.
Those are the 3 right now.
Those
3 should take off, guys. Go stream those suckers. They're fucking badass.
They're pretty good. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, they're good songs, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't let anybody hear them if I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
And you did everything on them, right?
Yeah.
Every instrument?
Except the drums. The drums are from an internet drummer.
Internet drummer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But they're pretty.
If I played the drums, it would take forever for me to do that kind of drumming.
Really?
Yeah. It's really hard. There's only like 4 beats you do, but
I know, that's what I was thinking.
But you got to do them fast. The kind of how fast I want to play the songs, I can't do it yet.
So you and Kim have something coming up too, right?
Yeah, on December 1st, me and Kim, we have a band called Kim and Mike. And
Kim and Mike, that's very original. That's the whole name?
It's the whole name, Kim and Mike.
Kim and Mike.
We don't give a fuck. Like, we don't care. You know, it's like what are we gonna do? You want to come up with a name? This is let's go through the whole thing right now of how people name bands, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, do you want to be in a band, Ray?
Yes.
What should we call our band?
Christmas?
Well, that's
Dog Whistle?
Christmas was the original Motley Crue name.
It was, yeah.
We were going to call the band Christmas.
With an upside down cross for the T. I bet it would have been successful.
It would have been, think about it. Smashing Pumpkins is the dumbest name on the planet.
They were going to do,
they're awesome.
Motley Crue was going to do the same shows, the same kind of stage shows. They were going to be called Christmas with an inverted cross for a T. Now, maybe it wouldn't have stood for 40 years, but you tell me they wouldn't have had a run. They'd have had, and then they were going to release Shout at the Devil. Christmas with the upside down cross release and Shout at the Devil.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I think it doesn't matter what your name is as long as
you're good.
Connect with whatever the universe connects you with, people and the sound.
Well, every band, almost every band is a stupid name.
Yeah.
Some are super cool, like, holy shit, that's the coolest name ever. You may make it on.
Metallica is like the coolest name. I think Metallica is very cool.
Oh, yeah, you know how they got that.
Cool
you know how they got that name, huh? So they were coming up with there was a contest to come up with a name for a new metal magazine in like 81. And one of the guys, a friend of Lars, and so they were asking, hey, can you help name our magazine, right? So a friend of Lars, he would put Metallica. And Lars was like, oh my God, that's the best fucking name I've ever heard. So Lars convinces his friend, he's like, oh no, that name sucks, or what? Like, yeah, you don't want to use that.
You don't want to use that.
You don't want to use that. Use something else. And then it ended up being, I don't remember if it's Metal Edge or Rip, but whatever that magazine became, it became one of the big magazines. But his friend didn't submit it, and Lars stole the name immediately. And then how James joined Metallica is Lars got the name right off the guy who's going to name the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, the band's name is Metallica. He goes to Brian Slagle, the owner of Metal Blade Records, and tells him, "Oh, I've got a band called Metallica, and I know you're making a metal demo." He doesn't have a band; it's just Lars. It's like, "I know you're making a metal demo. We'd love to be on it." Blah blah. Starts talking to Brian Slagle. Convinced, he's like, "All right, I'll give you a spot." So he allowed them to put "Hit the Lights," which is the first song on Kill 'Em All, on Metal Blade's first release, which was it was called Metal Militia.
Wow.
Which was later a Metallica song.
God, that would be terrible if that happened to my Hinkle, because it's just me, and then I'd have to find a band to do stuff with.
Well, so that's how Lars. So Lars got, when he got James, he's like,
I'm not into it really.
When he recruited James,
I'm into writing them.
He and Ron McGovney, he's able to tell him, "Hey, we already have a record label that's willing to put a song on." So they're like, "Well, fuck, I'll play with this guy," because he's already got an end to get us on an album,
right?
And a cool name.
And the coolest name. I think Megadeth's a cool name too.
Super cool.
And he spells it cool.
Black Sabbath's still my favorite name.
Black Sabbath
that's
incredible.
That's incredible.
That's probably the best name
ever.
That's
the best.
I think it's number. But also, you're a huge Black Sabbath fan. But
even if I wasn't, you just have to give credence to that.
You know what a badass band was with the dumbest name ever?
What?
Soundgarden. That is a dumb, weak name. But you don't think about it like that because
they're badass.
Because they're bad. You've heard their music. Smashing Pumpkins. What a dumb, weak name.
Imagine if Alice in Chains sucked.
Who is this Halloween band?
Yeah.
That's coming around. Smashing Pumpkins. If good Lord, I can't get this bottle open. It's really. I guess it's time to quit drinking.
Yeah, Smashing Pumpkin. There's a Green Day. That's a stupid name.
It's a dumb name. The name stops ceasing to mean what the words are once you learn the band's music and you like it. It stops being Smashing Pumpkins. It starts being Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
It's different. You don't think about a pumpkin being smashed.
You think the name's cool.
Think the band.
You think the name's cool. But if they were lame.
If they were lame, you'd be like, this sucks.
Like if Winger would have been a better band, people wouldn't have,
Shit on. But that was his name. Was it his real name? It was Kip Winger.
Yeah.
It was Kip. That was his real name, or did he make it up?
That was his real name.
Winger.
That's what he played bass for Alice Cooper under.
Oh.
So I'm assuming it was.
I had no idea he played bass for Alice Cooper. Do you think you could open this for me?
Of course.
I can't get this thing to work at all.
Not working, but
oh my gosh, your shoulder. No, but I would say like this. Okay, we're going to name a band. We're going to be in a band, and we need a band name. Plastic Chairs.
Yeah.
How about the Plastic Chairs and make it fancy?
Yeah.
You always put a "the" in front of something if you want to be artsy.
And make the H a chair. Make the H and a chair.
The Plastic Chairs. The C can also the H. All the H's are chairs, or the C's are chairs.
Yeah. Conversely, there's probably a ton of really good bands out there. I mean, conversely, there's probably a bunch of really shitty bands out there, like terrible bands, but with super cool names who we never know about because the band sucks.
But that's what I'm saying about names are pointless. That's why I was just like, I'm just call it Hinkle. It's my last name. And then somebody told me a long time ago that would be a cool band name. It would just be Hinkle.
Well, you've done a great job too with the logoing and the your artwork and if you're ever going to get into merch.
Oh, the next one's going to be good. I've got Kim drawing the next one instead of me doing it. Like Kim's doing the next
instead of doing a digital
spaceman. You'll see. I'll show it on here.
Speaking of drawing, did you see?
Wait, hold on. I want to get the band name point across. Okay. So we want to come up with a band, and you want to have it. You can go with the "we don't give a shit" band, or you actually have to dig through the trenches and wait for it to happen organically and be like, dude, that's a cool ass band name.
Yeah.
That's the only ways you can get it. You could just not care and call it Tripod. Or you're all having beers and somebody's running around, and like how 1000 Watt Bitch got named was we're in a bar.
See, that was a great name for the late 90s, early 2000s, but I don't know if that name would be great in 2023.
Flying out. We call it, it had to be KWB.
Yeah.
So we called it KWB on the radio when they played it on the radio.
Yeah.
So, but it was 1000 Watt Bitch, and we were at a bar hanging out, the band, and some guy walked past. He was like getting dissed by some chick or something, and he was like, "Yo, she's 1000 Watt Bitch," and we were like, how about 1,000-watt bitch? We're like, that's awesome.
That's how you
Let's
got it?
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we got it. Some guy said 1,000-watt bitch in a bar. Like, she's acting like a 1,000-watt bitch.
I've never heard that.
And I was
phrase.
like, dude,
I just
that's
thought y'all
cool.
had come up with it.
And it like it's a cool name because like it could mean like 1,000-watt bitch. Like I'm bitching at 1,000 watts.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a loud bitch.
Yeah.
I'm bitching loud about something. And that's what I kind of always looked at it. I didn't look at it like
that's how I looked at it as a
woman.
volume thing.
Yeah, 1,000-watt bitch.
A metal thing,
yeah.
a volume thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great name.
I never really considered the bitch portion of it to be female or anything like that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was kind of like how you say Godsmack to older people, and they're like, oh, and they're like, what? It's Godsmack. It's like talking smack about God. I was like, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
When I heard the name, I was just like, Godsmack. It sounds cool.
It's an Alice in Chains song.
Yeah, it's an Alice in Chains song.
Because they're an Alice in Chains cover band.
Yep.
Or they were an Alice in Chains
cover
band.
So was who were they? Stained played a lot of Alice in Chains covers back in the day before they were famous.
Now when I was saying earlier, I do like my frontmen and my musicians to stand up there and talk and command the crowd. Kind of not forever. Stained would be a good example of someone who does it a little too much talking, a little too long, a little too much grandstanding. Not political bull like Ted Nugent did. Like Ted Nugent was up there talking. I'm just like, oh my God, make this guy please just play Cat Scratch Fever and shut the fuck up. So dude. I'm just trying to get through your set anyway. Like,
I don't think I've ever been to a concert where somebody just talked a lot.
I can tell you the number one is Phil Anselmo, but his is great. Oh, you want more of it because he's so funny and he's just so long winded and he gets so caught up in whatever and he just keeps going about it. And you really do need a break between every Pantera song. Like, holy shit, I need 5-10 minutes to breathe. So I'm glad that he's up there talking. Ted Nugent goes on these political tirades that are just, and David Draymond from Disturbed does too. He's far left and he gets pretty preachy up on stage.
I just want to hear the songs. I
want to hear, when I say banter, I'm talking about, hello, Chicago! How you motherfuckers doing?
Pumping the crowd
up.
Not like...
or like, you guys don't be some pussies down there.
Yeah, I like to hear a little background if they want to give you some background on the song.
Yeah,
if it has any meaning.
This is how we wrote the song.
I should be like, hey, I was doing this and I just wrote this thing down and then this happened and I wrote it in a song. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then
Or I love what Ozzy does. He kind of like talks shit about people and has fun with his band. Like he'll be like, oh, Zach, I'll give it up for Zach Wild. He's like, and he'll come over there and be like, he's like, the best fucking guitar player on the planet. He's like, the motherfucker stinks. He doesn't know how to take a shower. He fucking drinks too much. He's just, just start talking shit about it. He's like, but he really can play the guitar, and I do want to recognize that, even though he's kind of a piece of shit human. Like, he just kind of fucks with everybody, and like, that kind of stuff's fun, because it's like, get the crowd laughing.
Yeah. I love it. Sean was good at it. Sean commands a crowd really well.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, he does a really good job, and there was one.
What was his deal? Was his deal banter with the crowd, or was it banter with the band, or
with
both?
The crowd?
Yeah,
he'd be like, he's like, "Welcome to my house tonight."
Yeah.
And there was one time. There's just a funny time when we were playing. We put on this festival in Shreveport, the All That You Fear Fest, and we were playing, and we had a new drummer, Jeffrey, came in to drum, and we messed one of the beginnings of the songs up, and instead of blaming it on our new drummer, Sean blamed it on me, and just got the whole crowd of 1,000 couple of people like chanting Mike fucked up because he knew I could take the heat because it was funny that way. But it really wasn't me.
It wasn't you that fucked up? Did the crowd even know that you fucked? A lot of times the crowd didn't even know.
Well, it got way off.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those times where it was like the
first...
Oh, it's
one of those undeniable.
It was the first time we ever was like, whoa, stop. Yeah. Mike fucked up. That's what he did, and I was like, I didn't fuck. I played this. I wrote this motherfucker. Yeah. There's 3 chords to it. I didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
But then he was like, Mike fucked up, and everybody's yelling that. It was really funny.
That is, that's a good way to handle that.
I also told him that night that my grandmother was in the crowd because she was there to watch us.
Uh-huh.
And I asked him if he could, not cuss so much.
Yeah.
And that's just the wrong thing to do. You don't let people know your weaknesses like that.
Yeah, don't tell people you don't want
He goes right up on stage. What's up, motherfuckers tonight? And then he had that somebody had made him this microphone stand with all this lights and like body parts in it and stuff, and it was a lady statue.
Yeah.
And so that he just started like molesting that thing, and and I was just like, oh, I shouldn't have said anything. He wouldn't have done any of that.
Yeah.
But that was Sean. That's what he'd do. You tell him not to do something.
He would kind of improv though, right? He would just do a different thing every night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was different every night.
Yeah.
But it was fun. He was, he kept you on your toes. He'd swing that chain around with that head on it, and you'd have to duck like at a certain time or get hit in the head with a chain.
Yeah.
With the thing was like 15 pounds. The head.
That was his mic stand?
No, this was like just a head he had on a chain that he swung out over the crowd when we were playing. And he would have like the chain.
Was it a little plastic skull or something?
It was a mannequin head that had the tattoo of the Celtic cross on the top of his head on the mannequin head. And he would swing it out over the crowd. And me and John standing there would have to like duck while we're playing.
Did you just get in a rhythm where you
you just get in a rhythm and you duck.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. And he'd be swinging it out, like slinging it out there.
Anybody ever get hit?
Fast. No.
Never. Really?
Never. Came close. John almost got hit in the head one time. The other guitarist, it grazed him. If it would have hit him, it would have knocked him out. He's whipping it around.
Yeah.
He's whipping it out there about 10 feet. It's a pretty good.
He puts it way above the crowd's head where it can't hit anybody, though, right?
Yeah, he would we'd be up on stage, and he wouldn't swing it like this. He'd swing it like this, like down.
So it comes up towards
So it would come up over the drums. I mean, he had it down.
Yeah.
And he was holding one hand. It was like slack here, and he'd get it going. And he'd whip it out there and let it get bigger until it was like 10 feet of just like this head whipping around, and we're doing this.
The crowd had to love that.
Oh, man, everybody went nuts.
Yeah.
We went nuts. We did it in front of 20,000 people. They were screaming their heads off. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that was my 1 minute of fame.
1 minute of fame. Everybody gets 15. You got 14 more.
I think I got my 15 then, a little bit. Maybe I got half. Maybe I'm due 8 more minutes.
Do another run.
Yeah, maybe they'll call me in Sydney, Australia. Those 20 people want to see me play those 3 punk songs.
Well, don't if you go to Australia to tour, don't buy cigarettes. Tommy Lee posted a receipt yesterday. I guess Motley Crue's on tour in Australia. He posted a receipt. He's like, this is for 4 packs of smokes at the 7-Eleven. It was 7-Eleven, $251.
Holy moly. Are you
4
serious?
packs of cigarettes.
200?
$251. Look it up on Tommy Lee's Instagram.
God. Oh yeah, I've got him on Instagram. I need to look that up.
Look it up. 200. You can look it up now. $251 and some change for 4 packs of smokes. And
I don't have to smoke that bad. I only smoke when other people are smoking.
You're like a 5 cigarette a week kind of guy anyway.
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe that.
If that, so you're not. I wouldn't call that even a smoker.
No. Tommy Lee?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what his handle is.
It's just Tommy Lee. There it is. It's the last one he posted. 7-Eleven. $251.96 for Marlboro Gold.
4 fucking packs of Marlboro Gold.
4. There it is.
So if you're a smoker, you better get the hell out of Australia. That must be just an angle to try to get cigarettes out of their, like completely out of their country. Because who the hell could afford to do that?
Well, here's the thing.
If you're not Tommy Lee, you're not like
you're not smoking. The thing is they probably don't have a Marlboro plant there, and they're all shipped there from.
Yeah, but
where does Marlboro? North Carolina, Virginia.
Yeah.
They probably have to ship them there, ship cigarettes there. You know what's funny is like
you're gonna tell me that's gonna add 10,000%?
No, but I mean that's part of it. I mean the fact that everything is just expensive now.
$60 for a pack of cigarettes?
I'd like to see this 7-Eleven. Like, how much is a thing of milk? $80? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You ever go in a 7-Eleven to get milk or whatever store like that? You get milk and it's really expensive. And you go to Walmart and it's a little bit cheaper or wherever.
Just like this lady told my dad one time.
What are you eating over there?
Laffy Taffy.
Oh, okay.
We had to get some oil.
You know what's funny is Laffy Taffy missed their mark. They should have put like marijuana in their taffy, and then it really is Laffy Taffy.
Oh, maybe they will now.
Laffy Taffy marijuana. You get some taffy and you laffy.
But we needed to get some oil, and we went into a convenience store, and it was like $6.99 for a quart or whatever. And my dad was like, "God damn, $7 for a quart of oil." Whatever. She was like, "Sir, it's a convenient store."
Yeah, right. You pay for the convenience.
Yeah. He's like, good point.
Good point. Yeah. I'm not actually at the discount dollar right now.
It's a convenient. I was like, she's got a, and I was thinking,
that's pretty friggin' smart.
She's got a really good point. So of course the milk. So yeah, I would be, and maybe it's in a tourist area or whatever, so you could understand if the cigarettes were $12 a pack, right? Or 13 maybe?
You gonna quit smoking right then and there?
At $60?
I would.
Shit, I went to Vegas.
But there are some people that can't.
I was in Vegas and they charged me $12 for a can of Copenhagen 20 years ago.
Jeez.
When it was $1.90 here.
Oh my God.
I was like, $12?
That's like prices like that. That's a pack of cigarettes now is $10.
I think so.
It's like $10, $9.50.
Crazy.
It's crazy. And so there.
How did we get here? Why are cigarettes $10?
Because they want people to quit. It's all taxes, I bet. In Australia, I bet it's all taxes. You know, Australia was hard on.
Man, if I paid $60, wouldn't you? I would be smoking each cigarette.
I'd be like, "Hey, don't talk to me. I'm smoking a cigarette."
Yeah,
and then I would just like concentrate. Oh yeah, that's good.
To the last.
Don't talk to me.
To the last tobacco fiber.
I'm gonna be like all the way down to the filter and be like, I got to get that filter hit real quick. The rubber taste. Yes. That's what I wanted.
$60 a pack. That's what I'm saying. If you're not like Tommy Lee, you couldn't afford to smoke. No, a regular person couldn't afford to smoke.
$62.75 a pack.
So that's $3 a cigarette.
$3 a cigarette.
And some
change.
You're
pretty good at math. $3.13.
$3.13 a cigarette.
A cigarette. Hey man, let me bum a cigarette. Hell no.
Do you remember when they used to have the convenience stores would have the cups with loose cigarettes?
Yeah, a Lucy
for a dime.
Let me get a Lucy
for a dime, and then they went to a quarter.
Yeah.
I guess now they'd probably be $1.
Yeah.
If you had but $3.
$3. I just the buying a cigarette out of the cup for $1 is kind of funny. I just figure okay, I could just picture it. Late night.
Well, you don't want to spend $10 here. You don't have $10.
You're not a smoker like me, really. And you come in, you're driving home from the bar, you got to get some fuel. You go inside to get you a water because you know your headache's going to be busting like mine is today.
Yeah.
And so you see the cigarettes, you're kind of drunk, and you're like, I want to smoke one cigarette. Here's $1.
And you pay the $1 for it.
It's just.
But I don't think it's legal to do that anymore because I don't see it anywhere. I haven't seen it in 20 years probably. Have you?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think that's more of a like I'm pulling over at the whatever in Shooterant and they've got them in a cup in Shooterant because nobody goes in there.
They don't have them there. I'm there all the time.
Anymore.
Yeah. Since we last met, I guess you saw India landed on the moon, right?
Oh my God, what a ridiculous thing!
Well,
it's so fake.
They are trying to. Okay, I think they are trying to say, well, this okay. That was animation.
Now they were like all looking at it, right?
Well, now they're trying. Now that everybody's roasting them, they're like, oh, well, clearly we don't have a way to video it. That was animation, like.
But they tried to pass it off like it was in the beginning.
Like, oh, what about they're touching down? Ah.
Did you see the picture of like their prime minister or whatever? He's a fucking robot. He was like, it's exactly what he was doing. Like you pull it up and they're like, and now we go to the India prime minister for his comments on the moon. He's like, did you just see everything flash?
Yeah.
Like the lights went out. Did that light go out?
Prime Minister of India didn't like you talking shit.
No,
about
he did. I better shut up.
Yeah.
You know, they control the southern part of the moon now.
I know.
They're shooting their beam in on me right now. Did that really just happen? Did everything just kind of blink out, or was it just that light is so bright that it was just that light?
It's kind of blink. I don't know. We're fine. Something happened.
God,
sure.
We're in another universe now. Probably that was probably them cooking up the Hadron Collider.
You might be right about that.
And now we're gonna go out there, and Mickey Mouse is gonna have a button on his foot or some shit.
How long you think we got before there's a nuclear bomb somewhere?
Next year.
I think we're pretty close.
I think we're close.
With Israel going on.
This World War III thing is popping off, man.
Yeah, and you know that I've been telling people I think we're like kind of in World War III now. No one called World War II while it was happening.
No shit. Yeah.
After it's over, you go, fuck, that was
the World War.
Pretty great war. That was a world war. Everybody was involved. Well, we're in World War III kind of now. We're just waiting for somebody to launch the first little nuke.
Well, it's a standoff. What do we got? We got our Ohio class. We got and we let them know, like, Ohio class submarine nuclear sub over there with 150. What is it, like Tomahawk missiles? 150 some kind of missiles on that thing parked over there by Iran.
Oh yeah.
And we let them know it's there. We never let anybody know where those things are.
Well, we've sent SEALs. We sent a SEAL team in.
I don't know about that, but then also we have like a huge destroyer over there parked over there.
But now they're saying,
so now we're just putting our pieces in place.
And the United Nations is telling Ukraine to surrender, so Russia looks like they're going to get what they wanted.
Really? I didn't hear that.
We're not giving them any more money. You saw where I guess we're not giving them any more money, and Zelensky was kind of begging for money, and he's like, "We'll pay it back with interest. We just need more money." Where the fuck's he going to get? How are they going to pay it back with interest?
How do you? It's kind of like the.
They're going to be a fallen nation, like a crumpled nation.
That would be kind of like us saying, "Hey, World Bank, we'll pay you back with interest." It's like, you don't make money. We make the money. We loan it to you. How are you going to pay it? How are you going to make money?
Well, we have a GDP. I mean, Ukraine's in shambles. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, but you understand
and being taken over by Russia.
You understand that if I own all the money and I loan you some and I'm like, pay it back in interest, you can't go make that money. I already own the money you're going to give me later anyway.
Well, sure. There is
it's
no money
till I make the money. There's no more money.
There's no money till loans are made anyway.
Right.
Money doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Money doesn't exist anyway.
Doesn't exist anywhere anyway. It's especially when a bank can, I think we've talked about this way back, but like the banking system is, you got $10, you can loan somebody $1,000. But you told me
it's now zero.
It's now zero. You can just give people money and they have to give you the money with interest.
You just tell the Federal Reserve, we need $1 billion. The Federal Reserve creates on a screen $1 billion. The $1 billion goes to Bank of America. Bank of America loans out the $1 billion that never existed. The citizen pays back the $1 billion with interest. Now real currency is created.
Did you get, is your check direct deposited through a bank?
Uh-huh.
Did you get your checks on time this past couple weeks?
I don't know. I think so.
Because a lot of people didn't, and there was like
my
a
wife
glitch.
works with a few. My wife works with a few. My wife works at Hobby Lobby in the floral department. She works with a few girls who like their checks were delayed several days.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And another bank failed. You saw that, right?
Yeah, but like that's messed up.
I'm assuming. I hope my check's in the. I hope my check's in the bank, but I didn't check. Perhaps my paycheck's not, and everything's bouncing.
Dude, like every day I'm constantly calculating how much money I have.
Oh, I do that, which the answer's zero, so I already know. So it's an easy calculate. I'm like, all right, well, I'm getting my paycheck. I'm going to pay my mortgage and my car note. It's going to leave me 4 cents, and I'm going to get it. So I don't want to check it, because then if I'm wrong, what if I'm wrong and there's only 2 cents? Fuck! Then my whole week's ruined. I'm like, God damn it! I thought I had 4 cents.
I thought I was going to use these 4 pennies.
Oh, I thought I had $28, and I've got $1.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Did yours hit on time?
Yeah, it did, but like they asked me if it did. Like at work, they were like, "Did your paycheck go through at work?" It's like a lot of people, the checks aren't going through, or like the direct deposit stuff isn't working.
Because we're about to.
I saw where somebody like hacked those banks though, and I think it was part of a hack.
I think we're close to the collapse of society. That's what I think.
I think it's all coming. I really do think.
How long have I been saying that? Like a year and a half. As however long we've been podcasting, I've been saying, and I've been pretty clear in saying, I think that I'm not saying it's tomorrow or it's next week or I'm not pinpointing. I'm just saying it may be a 30-year type of deal, maybe a 60-year unravel.
Our lifetime.
But it feels like we're definitely in the unraveling of civilization. Mm-hmm. People are reckless. There's no Nobody cares about life.
Nobody cares about anybody anymore.
Nobody cares about anybody but themselves, and everything. And there's wars everywhere, and the financial system is fucking broken. Everything's corrupt.
Everybody lies. The media lies to us. Everything
politicians lie. The media's lie. Leaders lie. Schools lie.
We have no idea what's going on in the world at all. We have no idea if what we're hearing about
anything,
Gaza and all that, any of that is true. We don't know if anything is true.
We don't even know.
It fucks my head up.
We don't even know. Are we even on a round Earth?
We're not even. Are we on a very larger round Earth?
Are we in space, or is there actually a firmament? Are we being held up by turtles? I don't fucking know anymore.
I don't know anymore. But here's my Mike's Illuminati plan for the future. This is what I think. Okay, so we got AI, right? And it's solving problems right now for rich folks.
Yeah, always for everything.
Always for rich folks. They give us the AI that goes, "Hey, do you want to text somebody and sound smart? Yeah. Hit this academic button," and then it goes from like me and the boys are going, mud hogging later, and then we're gonna go fishing in the bayou, and you hit a button and it turns into, "My esteemed colleagues and I have made plans to engage in a recreational activity known as mud hogging, followed by the consumption of fermented beverages this evening. Furthermore, we have strategically devised a plan to engage in the art of aligning in the bayou with an intention of capturing a substantial quantity of fish."
Hey, that's good.
So, like,
do you have that? Is that an app you have?
Yeah, I have an app where it's an AI thing, where a keyboard where you type in what you're doing, and you can like change the mood of it or whatever. Yeah, and that's I said. Well, watch what it says when I say I'm gonna go mud hogging, and then we're gonna go fishing in the bayou later, and that's what it popped up.
So you just anything you say just tries to smarten it up.
It smartens it. Well, that's the smarten up. That's the educational pick one. You can change the mood of it and say like you can do like mean or like aggressive or whatever, and then it'll make whatever you type aggressive.
Yeah.
Or mean or sad. That's the AI we get. The AI they get are trading bots that keep AMC down, even though it's had the greatest year it's ever had in forever. And you've got Taylor Swift like stuff. People are going to see like that shit.
$300 million.
Doing $300 million in a weekend, and still on Monday just goes click, 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 click down to $8, and it should just be going the opposite way. It's so corrupt. It should
be 80,000 by now.
It should be crazy.
One day one day that AMC has got it. It's something that shit is. It's been too long and it never got fixed, right?
It never got fixed.
It's been so long now. We think like, it had to get.
You think
resolved.
They chipped away and got everybody so far? I know diehards that are holding on. I've been holding on. I've bought and sold some and made some money, but I'm holding on.
I have like 20 shares left, but I lost my ass during COVID on that shit.
Yeah.
I had a nice run with it, but
That's
never
funny.
cashed.
You lost your ass, and I gained a fat ass because I got fat during COVID.
Yeah, that was a good time I probably got in the best shape of my life during COVID. I started right when COVID hit. I was really going hard at the gym, so I just started really going hard.
I was going hard at the gym when COVID did
too. I started doing a lot of body weight workouts, and I wasn't able to lift heavy or anything, so I just kind of.
I got lazy, and I was working from home. I still work from home, but like, I got lazy. I'm gonna get you a mic stand like mine.
That's fine. So
I'm so aggravated with it, but I got so lazy during COVID, and then like we had an ice storm. Remember the ice storm?
I don't remember.
Was that during COVID? And like I was just like a shut in for a year. I ordered everything online. I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just a shut-in.
I guess during that first year, I probably made money because AMC was doing good.
Oh, I made money.
Dogecoin was doing good.
I had a lot of money.
All the meme shit was doing great. That in 23 years ago.
Oh, I remember me and you were on the phone all the time, like, "Hey, what Dogecoins?" Blah blah. Blah. I made $5,000 off of Dogecoin in like a night. And then I was like on the phone with you.
I made $4,800 the day it popped.
Yeah,
the first day it popped because I had like 50,000 shares at well under a penny.
And then I made 8, and then like a couple of days later, I'm on the phone with you, and I'm like, I'm just gonna drop $5,000 on it. And I was like, "Oh, I did it! Oh,
yeah."
Like dropping $5,000 on something really feels crazy.
I know. For some reason, then it didn't.
It's so exciting.
It was so exciting. And then
I made money off of it.
I took those Dogecoin earnings.
I made more money.
I took that $5,000 from Dogecoin or $6,000, whatever it was, and
Dude, I jumped out of that smart.
And I bought it. You jumped out at Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live, right before he said it was a scam. I jumped because it was going up. And I was like, I'm out. and I was at Jeffrey's in the middle of nowhere, and I'm trying to get my phone to work, and I sold it. And as soon as I sold it, boom, it went down because he said it was a joke. He's smart. He knew what he was doing. He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
So I didn't cash out there, but I wrote it down to where I had I think maybe 2,800, whatever it was. I took all that money and put it into AMC.
Right. I did the same thing.
And then it ran up to $72 from $8 or whatever.
Oh God, yeah.
And I was up to 25,000. And I just
50 grand.
I had 25,000. You had 50 grand,
and I didn't cash.
I didn't cash, and it just buried me, and it buried me down.
Grand, I didn't cash
I just sat there and held until it got down to okay. My initial was let's say 5,000. It got down to I got 4,000 there. I'm like, well, I can't get out now. I'm 1,000 down. Next thing you know, I got 2,000. Next thing you know, I was 1,800. And I was like, well, I got to sell just to capture some money. So I sold out at a $3,200 loss. Then it got then at least probably
when it got to 18, I sold some.
I don't even remember.
I got all my money.
I just
back.
remember it was
technically, I got all my money back, and all the money I've ever put in it now is house money.
And so I started rebuying I guess this year.
You bought a motorcycle.
I did buy a motorcycle with my Dogecoin.
Of it, yeah.
Half a motorcycle. I financed half and paid for it.
Oh, you did? That's smart. That's a smart thing to do.
And that was Dogecoin money. It was 3,000 cash. And
I saw a guy on the internet yesterday say that he paints and he gets his paintings appraised, and then he went to the bank and got a loan.
You saw that too? Yeah.
Is that bullshit? I sent it to Kim. I was like, you need to do this with your paintings. Get them appraised and then get a loan from it. People don't understand.
Then how do you pay the loan back? Or you just use the loan
use the loan to get a motorcycle or whatever you want.
But you gotta use the loan to get a cash generating something with the money.
Well, you already have a job. I already have a job. I could use my paintings to get a loan, and then I just pay it back later.
Yeah, you could probably use all kinds of things to get a loan, huh?
You got to have assets to get a loan. Loans are funny because loans are like, hey, bank, I need some money. And the bank goes, what do you need it for? And you go, I want to buy this. And they go, do you already have the money that you could buy it? And you're like, yeah, but I want to use your money. Okay, loan approved. You go in and you go, you go to a bank and you go, I don't have the money to buy this. And they're like, it's denied. Basically you go to get a loan if you could pay for it yourself, or you have assets that are far greater than that because they want their money and they want to be able to make money off of your dealings.
Yeah.
So, but basically you have to just already have the money and you go get the loan because you don't want to use your money, which is smart if your interest rate is low. Because why spend your money on something if you can spend their money and pay it back later?
Which now there is no low interest rates.
Well, there's not. Well, the funny thing is people are so stupid.
You could have an 850 credit score. You're getting a 8.1 mortgage right now.
Yeah. I lucked up. I got right in right before all that went down.
Well, it was close to when it was going down. Huh? You got to be pretty high, huh?
What is it?
6 or 7?
5.9.
That's real damn good.
I locked it in. And then they make you jump through hoops to buy a house now. It's incredible what you got to do to buy a house.
Really?
Yeah,
I bought one 6 years ago, so I can't really remember.
When you do your down payment and all that, that has to be real money. They want real money, and they want to know where it came from.
Oh yeah, I know.
Then that just kind of blew my mind because I built a house before, and I used a company to build the house, and I didn't have to do any of that. I just had to have the money.
How'd you do that? You borrowed.
I got a loan from the bank, and the bank hooked up with the builder, and they just gave them the money to build the house. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's well, where's the $12,000 down coming from? And you're like, well, we need to see your bank account. We need to see where that money came from. You can't get a loan to pay for a loan, obviously. I mean, they don't want that.
Yeah.
You could, but they don't let you.
Right.
And it's well, somebody's going to give you the money to help you out. Well, we need to see their bank account. We need to see where that money's coming from. I mean,
why do you think it's like that?
Because
they want them the right to make it like that. Fuck them. That's the government.
Fuck that. If I want to get money from anywhere to buy a house for a down payment, if I want to go to I guess, you know why? You want to know why? I figured it out just now because I just thought about it in my head. All the money comes from the same place. It doesn't matter if it's Freddie Mac or Fannie or whoever. It's all the same bank. There's one bank.
It's the Fed.
It's the Fed. It's all one bank. They don't want you borrowing money from them to pay them, and then pay that and pay them. They don't.
But yeah, but what if you
could just follow what I just said?
What if you say
that doesn't? But it's just so aggravating. Like,
what if you just said I sell stuff I garage sell on the weekends. I've been doing that for 10 years, and I have $15,000 in cash in my closet, and that's what I'm using for my down payment. Will they not take it as a down payment?
No.
Why? They really won't?
You have to show where you got that from.
What do you have to do? Deposit into a bank?
I don't know if you could. That's the problem with like drug dealers and making money is you put it in your walls and you'll have groceries and whatever you can buy cash for the rest of your life, but you can't make big purchases with it. You have to have. That's why you have to have like fake front stores or cash businesses like strip clubs and car washes.
So you can launder some of the cash.
So you can launder the cash to buy stuff because they're like, you've been saving $20,000 for a year at a flea market for 20 years and now you want to use it. Well, you can't prove where that came from, so you can't use it.
That's bullshit.
You put it in the bank and they'll come after you like, wait, you put $10,000 in the bank. You put $9,999 in the bank. They don't do nothing. You put $10,000 in the bank. They write a letter to the IRS and say, "Hey, this guy just put $10,000 in the bank. Let's figure it out."
That's so wild.
That's why you can't. This is why you can't. Every single like coming up drug dealer movie you watch where they're like weighing money in boxes and they like are renting houses to put money boxes in because you can't do anything with cash. Cash is no good in the eyes of legit business. Like you can't buy a house cash.
Well, you could, huh?
It's hard.
So you had $300,000 in cash.
You got to show it. I had to show where my measly money came from.
Yeah, I had to show cash to buy a house. Surely they'd have to buy.
It's not like a Lamborghini dealership where you walk in and you're a rapper and you have $350,000 in a bag and you're like, here,
what
I'm
if
leaving.
You're a rapper
Give me the
and you have
keys.
$350,000 in your bag and you want a house?
You don't get it. You got to tell them where that money came from. I'm telling you, that's the way it is.
But what if it came from legitimate means? You're like, I'm a rapper. I get paid $50,000 a night.
Do you have receipts? You got to show them receipts. You got to show them where you got it from.
The government shouldn't be that involved in our finances.
They really shouldn't be that involved.
Really
and it's about to
get
worse because we're gonna go with. Oh wait! I didn't do my. This ties into Mike's Illuminati end of the world scheme. Mm-hmm. So we got AI. We got off on that tangent. AI.
Right.
AI is going to eliminate 50, 60, 70% of the jobs on the planet. Yeah. 70. That doesn't mean those businesses are going to hurt. It's actually going to cut those businesses' prices and profit in half. It's going to cut what they're spending in half, and they're going to get even richer.
Yeah, but they're not going to come down on any prices or anything.
They're not going to come down on prices. So what they have to do is they have to have maybe like a third world war to wipe out 50%. 50
of the population.
Of the population. 50% of the population has to go. Okay. Because we can automate all this stuff and live as rich people in Elysium and have everything automated for us without having to deal with all these groveling fucking people
idiots,
that are fucking running around buying Old Navy and stuff.
Who will be the ones you think?
I love Old Navy.
Who will get to live?
People that own billionaires.
Well, I mean, there's going to be some regular folks that live, huh?
I think that. Well, I don't know. Like if you want to really break it down, I hate to sound like. I don't want to sound. I am in no way elitist or anything like that, but I think if you're like in the Illuminati, you really don't care. You just want capable people to live that you can boss around that are on an upper level of like not living in shanties. You know what I mean? You want people that can push the paperwork around for you. But you're not going to need that anymore with AI. I'm telling you, like they could actually just get rid of everyone. They're going to have robots that do everything. They're going to have robots that can do anything for you. Cook you food, everything. They've got enough money to make all that technology. That technology's here. They just don't push it on us because there's a whole thing going to happen. I'm telling you, like the crazy reset's going to happen like in the next 20 years.
Maybe less.
I'm hoping 20. I don't want it to get hard in my old age. Jesus.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to get hard.
It's going to get hard.
Before it gets easier. Then it's going to get way better, I think. Don't you think?
For some people, I think they're going to kill off a bunch of people. I think a bunch of people are going to get killed.
In this world war.
We're about to have. In this world war. I think it's coming to the States. Uh-oh.
How'd you get off?
Hit escape. Hit escape on the keyboard all the way up to the left. Okay. Is it still recording?
Yep, sure.
Is it Do you see my waveform? Waveform? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. It's down a little bit, but it ain't no big deal. Ain't no big deal. Anyway, I think they're gonna. I'm a little worried. About this war coming to the United States, being on our soil.
You think so?
Yeah. They're like talking about having like terrorist stuff, sleeper cell stuff. The only way they can get here is that they're already here.
They're here, by the way.
And they'll just activate them, the cells. They'll just be like, go to the Mall of America and blow it up.
Yeah.
Or go to New York City, blow this up.
But then we start going ham on people if that happens.
Well, look at what happened when Israel's going ham right now, and everybody's pissed at Israel for blowing up like hospitals and stuff. If that's even true.
But they shouldn't be pissed at Israel. They might be committing war crimes, but it looked kind of retaliatory, right?
It is retaliatory, but they're also blowing up hospitals. There's a lot of people getting killed. There's a lot of human suffering going on that could probably be not happen.
Yeah.
And that's awful. I'm so far away from Israel. I have no idea what's going on over there. Like, and all I can do is like listen to the news, and I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. Is the whole problem. They've kind of got us like that.
That's what we were talking earlier. Like
they kind of got us. That like it's like, okay, is this going to be the reality? Is this?
You have to go to TikTok to get your news,
right? And Snapchat Maps.
Yeah.
Until they shut it down.
What's Snapchat Maps? I don't have Snapchat. So.
Okay, so Snapchat Maps is like if I want to show you who's playing last night, White Lightning, which was Dane Von Hagen, right? Cool dude, really good singer, songwriter. I would like do a video of him on Snapchat and then post it to the map. You can go on the world map, click on the little blue dot. Blue area, and it'll show what I showed you. You can go over to you can scroll over to Ukraine and click on it and see what everybody's filming in Ukraine. Well, when the war started happening, they were like, there's tanks in the streets, blah blah blah. There were people like filming it in Ukraine on Snapchat Maps, and like they're saying there's tanks in town, but there are no tanks in town here yet.
Yeah.
And so like they shut it down. You couldn't like click on any of those, and they didn't want you to see it because it's real life stuff.
It's really happening.
It's like what is the story where they were like what was the big Zeppelin that blew up?
The Led Zeppelin.
Is it Led Zeppelin?
Yeah,
that's the band.
That's what. Yeah, that's how they got their name. They said they were like, you're gonna go down. They were like, this band sucks. You're gonna go over like a Led Zeppelin. Like a metal Zeppelin.
But there was a name. The Hindenburg.
Hindenburg, yeah.
This is like saying like the Hindenburg, before it exploded, there was a newspaper out that said it exploded already or some shit like that.
Is that true?
I think so. I think I read that somewhere. Like it's almost like Building 7 in
9/11.
9/11, where the person standing there like, Building 7 has also fallen, and like right behind him is Building 7. Hasn't fallen yet.
Right.
And then it fell.
Well, there was no reason for it to fall. It didn't have anything except debris.
Well, they blew it up.
I know. They blew them all up.
They popped them all. That was a big farce. I don't think anything like that happens unless they make it happen. That's what I'm saying. Like, the reality that we live in is the reality they want us to think. It's pretty... if you think about it too much, it makes you mad, and then it makes you a little crazy.
It makes you crazy. It's what it makes me.
And it makes me mad, and it makes me crazy because like I'm to the point where I think that that Earth is bigger than what they say it is, and there's other lands.
Are you?
I'm not a flat earther.
You're not either. You're not there yet.
But I'm
not there yet either. But
I'm a bigger earther.
Bigger Earth.
Yeah, I believe.
Like
I don't believe this, but it just makes. Here's the thing.
The ice wall.
The ice wall, and then beyond the ice wall, there's more continents. I believe that. That
would be the biggest scandal of history. Besides, 9/11's big, JFK's big, MLK's big. Like, this is lie after lie after lie, dude.
Yeah,
now it's all with the way technology has come along. All the lies are being exposed.
Well, I think,
but everything's not a lie.
There's a lot of people that believe that like the ice wall is that it's around the whole.
Oh, it's millions.
Like Antarctica isn't a continent; it's actually the border.
Yeah, and then
to the next.
Yeah, and that's just holding in all the water.
Because General Byrd in like the 30s, I think, went down.
He said, "Oh yeah, it's all kinds of shit."
He said, "Hey, we went past Antarctica, and there's like there's a landmass, a continent as big as North America that's abundant with all kinds of coal and all this stuff's down there, and we need to go down there and get all that shit." And then after that, like shut him up, and then then right after that, all the treaties of
like Antarctica's the bottom of the earth.
Nobody's allowed to go to Antarctica ever, and all this kind of stuff. And
but
you cannot go to Antarctica. You can't. You can go to you can take a cruise, and you can cruise up to it on a cruise. You can go. You can
fly over.
The only people that can fly over to NASA with special planes because it's so cold. NASA's only allowed to go over it. NASA actually.
That doesn't make any sense though if you think about it with common sense. Like
yeah,
of course. A plane's not gonna be affected by the cold.
Most of this stuff is common sense. That's all messed up. That is completely unbelievable. It's your common sense is like no. I know that your common sense says this, but science says.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh well, I guess science.
I don't want to argue with science.
It's so cold.
Which
down
that is
there
the camp I've always fallen into. Like I'm like, I'll believe the experts.
Right.
I do tend to go with the experts.
But you have then check this out. On Always Sunny in Philadelphia, there's one of my favorite scenes. Is Mac says that he's trying to disprove evolution, and he goes. He's got like Sir Isaac Newton, all these guys up there, and he's like, this guy thought that the Earth was flat and that we were the center of the universe. And then later, Galileo proved that he was wrong, making him and everyone else on Earth a bitch. Yeah, he slams the thing on there, and then he goes through all this, and he's like, and then sir, this guy comes along with this theory of whatever, and he also thought he could turn metal into gold, and he died eating mercury, making him and everyone else a bitch. And he's like, so science is wrong sometimes.
Science is on a quest to prove itself wrong in theory.
So he was like, he goes, but you're telling me this is because of evolution? You don't believe in evolution? He's like, that's ridiculous. There's data, there's fossil records, there's all this. And he goes, oh yeah. So you've read the data? Well, I haven't read the data. And he's like, but the fossil records, you've seen these fossil records. No, I haven't seen the fossil records, but they're there. They were studied by scientists. What scientists? Well, I don't know their names. He's like, so you would say that maybe you're taking this on faith?
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it. It's like, so you haven't dug through the fossil records. You're taking it on faith that some other, but he's 100% right.
But I'm going to take it on faith like when a brain surgeon's talking about the brain.
That's
that
different.
He knows more than
That's
me.
different, but think about it as in a whole, as like we've never really poured through the ice, the ice, like those ice drilling things to, like they do all the science stuff, like when they can tell in ice cores when asteroids hit the Earth or when volcanoes went off and these ice. I've never seen those.
Of course not.
And I've never seen any of the. I've never seen or read. I think you can read a book or whatever, but I haven't read no books about any of that stuff. And I'm just like, I believe in science, but you've never really seen the data. I'm
not saying I'm a scientist. I'm saying what you're saying is valid as hell.
I mean, you're taking it on your own faith that these scientists did it right.
But that's the same thing like I said about who do you trust more about your eyes, your eye doctor or me? Your eye doctor.
Well, my eye doctor.
Because he studied it.
He studied it.
He spent his life devoted to your eyes.
Right.
They've spent their life devoted to astrophysics. Okay.
Yes, but also if it serves a purpose,
how come somebody wouldn't turn?
Wouldn't they serve a purpose and they lie about it?
What do they tell? Or they find out if somebody gets too smart and they figure this stuff out? If they're in the field, like, hey, if you turn on us, we'll kill you.
Right. That's right. They will kill you, or they will kill you and make your family infamous.
So, like when the first nerd shows up and is like, "Hey guys, I've got a theory I've been working on. I think I've got it rock solid. Antarctica's not a continent, and it keeps going, and there's other lands over there. I can 100% prove this, and I'm going to do this in my dissertation for my doctorate." And surely that's happened if we're talking about it, right? Like people with 168 IQ somewhere.
Well, the problem is the only way to figure that out is to go hike it.
What they do, shut the door, lock it, and be like, "Listen, motherfucker, we don't ever speak of this again."
This is what they do. They go, "How would you like tenure at Yale?"
Yeah.
bury this. Would you like tenure at Harvard?
But you don't think anybody's
You don't have
ever
to
been
teach
bigger
any
than that?
classes.
No smart person's ever been bigger than that to be like, no, I'm fucking coming clean with it.
I think everybody has a price. I think it's all lies.
I'm just being devil's advocate. You know, I love conspiracy theory as much as anybody.
I think NASA was formed to lie to everyone about being able to go to space. I don't think we can even go to space. Well, I think we can go to the stratosphere. Then, like what I told you the other day when I saw this thing where they said that the moon was. They said the moon was because it's all the same people.
China, Russia, and India, and then on the lie.
It's all the same people. All the same people rule the world.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't matter if you're Chinese or whether everybody. There's only so many people that rule the world.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter. They don't care who wins what war. They're always making money.
That's right.
They're on both sides. It's like it doesn't matter because they don't belong to a country. They don't have a creed.
They live outside of the wall.
They live outside of society.
Outside the ice wall.
Possibly.
So if you believe this outside the ice wall, you would believe that it's flat, and that's what's holding it
Well,
in.
it could be bigger. It just could be a bigger ball. If you look into space and you see all those other planets are huge. Yeah. So ours is tiny? Ours is that tiny?
It's medium-sized.
It's tiny. If you look at all the other ones, they're all like huge.
Well, not all of them.
Huge. Most of them are bigger than us. Most of them are bigger than us.
But a lot of them aren't we? Like
a lot of them are gassed too. They're all gassed up.
Like, how do we know? They say the center of the Earth's got the core, the magna, all that shit, right? But how do we know that?
We don't know that. There could be another Earth inside of the Earth.
Why haven't they shown it? Like, drill there and show us then with the camera.
Oh, it's impossible to drill down because
you stop somewhere.
Yeah,
they say stop.
It's impossible.
Like 8 miles down, you stop.
Yeah.
But then how do they know that? But in the center, there is a metal liquid magma.
You'd have to look. You'd have to see if that is just
or what's in the Earth's core. I don't want to say it wrong. Like what do they say is in the Earth's core?
Well, they already said the Earth's core stopped spinning.
Yeah, like what is in the core? Who
of the knows? Earth? How do they know that?
What is in the core of the Earth? Is it
hot magma?
Is it? Is that right?
Know. I have no idea.
I don't want to speak out turn and have somebody.
It's a big disco ball. Everybody's invited to have a good time.
What is the core of the Earth made of? That's what I need to know. Okay, the innermost part of the Earth is about 1,500 miles thick. They're saying just the core is 1,500 miles thick. It's made with iron and nickel. It's extremely hot with temperatures from 7,000 to 9,000 degrees. How do they know that?
It's bullshit. I don't know. How do they know
I'm sure
that?
There's a way they do know it, but if you can't get to it, and there's no way to get to it, and you got to go down 1,500 miles or whatever, but we can only go down 8 miles. How does someone figure out that its temperatures down there 9,000 degree nickel and iron ore?
I am not a smart man, but I do know what stupid shit sounds like. You could
but we all just accept it, right?
Right, because we learned it in school.
Well, I can't figure it out, so
we learned it in a government school.
But I'm not smart enough to figure it out. Are you?
No.
So I have to rely.
What am I gonna do? Like look into a volcano and be like, I bet that shit's hot even further down. I bet it's made out of nickel, and it's about 1,500 miles. And it's hot as shit.
But didn't somebody have to come up with the theory? And somebody and other scientists had to look at the data. And they had
How do you test that?
They know. We don't know. I don't know. I'm a peasant.
I know. Like, I don't know. I'm not smart in science.
I'm not smart enough. I'm not smart enough to know what I don't know.
I do know that
so
when you land
that's
something,
correct.
I do know that when you land something on the moon, it probably should have dust on top of the feet. I do know that.
Maybe, but I don't know anything about moon dust.
I don't know anything about moon dust or vacuums either. So maybe I'm wrong too. And also, who pans the camera when it leaves? There's a 7-minute delay on whatever you say. Like I say, hey, Ray, you're on the moon. And then it's like tick, 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 tick. 7 minutes later, it goes, hey, Ray, you're on the moon.
They're saying the center of the Earth is 3,200 miles to get to the center. 3,200 miles.
Okay, yeah.
But that's...
Well, think about...
How do you figure that out?
Because you take how round the Earth is.
Uh-huh. You go to the dead center of it.
And then what I would do is I would find like an orange and cut it in half and then measure the orange and do the math.
But you're telling me you think it's straight land for 3,200 miles if you're drilling?
No, there's probably like caves and water. There's probably oceans in there.
3,000 miles? That's a long way.
3,000 miles to the center?
To the center.
So that's...
How do you figure that?
Because you just take a ball. I'm guessing like this is what you do.
But that's not the center.
Look this up.
That's not the center. You cut it in half. That's not the center.
I'm going to try and do this. You cut it in half and you measure to the
that
center.
That wouldn't be the center. But that wouldn't necessarily be the center if you're going like, where's the center of Louisiana? If you're in Louisiana, you're drilling straight down, going to the core. That wouldn't be the center of you cutting the globe in half at all. You could cut it right down a continent.
Oh, see, I guess I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's people arguing about it being flat or round because, like,
how'd they figure out it's 3,200 miles? Now let me see how deep we can drill.
We can't drill that deep. Remember we talked about in Russia the deepest hole that's drilled is in Russia.
Just remember 3,200 miles,
and they quit drilling.
Yeah, it's 40,230 feet. So let's divide 230 divided by 5,280 is in a mile. That's 7 miles. 7 miles. The deepest hole on Earth is 7 miles, but the core is 3,200 miles. Allegedly.
Holy shit.
The most we've ever done is 7 miles, but we've got to go 3,200 miles to get to this 9,000 degree nickel and iron ore.
We know what the core is somehow.
How?
How
Do you know? The closest we got was, holy shit, 3,193 miles away. That's the closest we got.
Guys, we got to stop. It's getting too hot. I'm going to guess that from here, I'm going to multiply. Somebody get me a calculator. I'm going to multiply the heat from here to the center. And that's how hot it is in the center.
Yep, 9,000 degrees. Okay. Well, because the range.
How big is it? I don't fucking know. Let's say it's
Well, here's what's wilder. They said the core is from 7,000 to 9,000 degrees. Well, that sounds reasonable to you. Well, that's a 2,000 degree discrepancy.
2,000 degrees is hot.
Yeah, is it 9,000 or is it 7,000?
That's why I'm always like, they lived 5 to 10 million years ago. Well, that's 5 million year span where things happen.
Yeah, shit happened.
What? Did nothing happen?
What about the 3,000? What about the 2,000 degree variance? How do we get a 2,000 degree variance if you're not guessing?
Does it? Yeah, right. So I'm thinking it's all then just they just go, okay, so it's got to be this hot from here to here, fluctuating.
It's just got to be.
It's got to be.
Because why?
Because it's pretty hot in a volcano.
Yeah, it's 95 up here, but we dug the hole 7 miles where it's now 96.
Multiply that
by 3,000 miles.
So from the edge of where we say it is to the middle, it's
we're gonna sound so ridiculous to scientists. That
I know
we're
so stupid. They're gonna be like, "Well, there's obviously a thing that we do called this, you idiots."
Yeah, and he goes,
"We are idiots.
Yeah,
we don't understand.
We don't understand.
Like science and technology gets to the point where you're like carrying around a screen, a piece of a piece of metal and glass in your pocket, and it's like magic.
Yeah,
it's like there's no wires on this thing. So really good science is like magic. I think it's like magic. You guys know that what the middle of the earth is. I don't understand how you would even figure that out.
It's so beyond our grasp that we just stop thinking about it. We get taught it in 4th grade, and we just go, okay.
But that's the other flip of the coin. They make it so complicated. They just want to lie to us about everything, and then when you go to look at all the numbers and the figures, you're like, "Fuck this! I want to watch football."
Well, if you started probing, if you started calling people "Hey, how did you find out what the core of the Earth is and how deep it is?" There was this scientist here. Well, you call him. Call him, and you're like, "Well, show me that." That's what I want to.
I bet we could find that on the internet.
I bet you can.
I bet you can. Just for the end of the show here. So we don't look real stupid.
How do we know how deep the center of the Earth is? The core of the Earth? That's the first question.
Right.
If it's
got to just be like a circumference thing where you measure
all information. I'll just read it verbatim so we're all on the same page.
All right.
All information about the core has come from sophisticated reading of seismic data, analysis of meteorites, lab experiments with temperature and pressure, and computer models.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Most core research has been conducted by measuring seismic waves, the shock waves released by earthquakes at or near the surface. I'm way less convinced now than I was 1 minute ago.
That's a worse thing that I could have come up with. I was like, well, they're going to use some kind of math theorem, and they're just like, oh, we use some data and a couple of instruments, and then the earthquakes.
How do we know the temperature of the core of the Earth? The last question was
I'm starting to think they don't, and they're just...
Here we go. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Using advanced technology, scientists have been able to pinpoint with greater specificity the exact melting point of iron, which allows them to make educated guesses about the temperature that must and surely exist in Earth's inner and outer core.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit. Nothing's real.
This is just because somebody's so smart.
That's ridiculous.
Because I'm so smart, I can say this is what it is. This is how. And I say things like, you go, well, how'd you get that? And you go, advanced technology. Using advanced technology, we've been able to pinpoint with greater specificity the exact melting point of iron. Okay, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, that allows us to make educated guesses about the temperature that must exist in Earth's inner.
It must exist. It must exist. They don't know. Nobody knows anything.
I'm so glad we had this conversation just to make me think critically. Because I was like, we're going to sound stupid to the scientists, and so I was like,
no,
well, let's Google
we're
it
not.
and see. Let's answer this for ourselves and figure this out. There's got to be like an obvious answer.
The
obvious answer is a bunch of word salad.
Right. Sophisticated instruments.
Instrumentation, data analysis of the seismic waves. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
See, they don't know. There's always questions, and they always need to be answered, and they always come up with some bullshit.
The inner core, here's some more. The inner core is so listen for these key words. That's how I'll read stuff.
Right.
Because I'm real skeptical anyway. The inner core is believed to be composed of an iron nickel alloy. So we don't even know that it's iron and nickel.
It's believed.
We're guessing that, right?
Yeah.
So then we're just going to guess the melting point of iron and figure out, and then we're going to guess that our iron that's in the center that we think is there is also melted.
It's also.
But we don't know that,
We
right?
don't know.
So we know, well, iron melts at 7,200. So it's probably between 7,200 and 9,000, even though that could make no sense.
Right.
It could be 3 degrees and be metal.
It's just some brain was like, we're just going to say this because it makes sense, and we don't know, but this is what we're going to teach people.
And it says, is said to be about 7,200 to 9,000 degrees, which is about, another word, here's that wording, which is about the temperature at the surface of the sun. So we just decided the core of our Earth
is the sun.
Is as hot as the sun, yet it's not coming through 3,000 miles of dirt and water to scorch us? If it's as hot as the sun? Now
that's a tough one to believe.
Now I'm just befuddled, Mike.
Yeah, that it's as hot as the sun. That's kind of wild.
And the sun's like, 18 million miles away? And we're still getting heat from it because it's 9,000 degrees, but it's also in the center of this little bitty...
Not just heat. It gives us cancer.
Yeah.
It really heats us up.
But we've got melted nickel and iron ore burning at the same temperature as the surface of the sun, right in the center of our little bitty ball, and we don't even feel it on our feet. Like, we don't even feel warmth on our feet.
Well, it is warmer in the ground.
I feel no real warmth.
Yeah, but it is warmer in the ground.
But 9,000 degrees. And if I'm asking for answers, are the answers just going to be, I think this is all trust me, bro.
I think this is all just, it's a bunch of trust me, bro. I know what I'm talking about. I have instruments.
All right, how do we know? We're going to get off here in a minute, but this is too fascinating right now.
Right.
All right, so next question. How do we know that the Earth's core is molten rock? That's the next thing I want to know. By the early 20th century, so let's put it in perspective. This is the 1900s.
Right. Okay.
So by the 1900s, right about the time they were building 300-story castles with hammers and chisels, probably.
Yeah.
All over. By the early 20th century, the 1900s, the increasing temperatures as we dug deeper into the Earth, that's what you were talking about, combined with seismologists' analysis of earthly waves, suggested that the inner parts of our planet were most likely partly molten, hot enough to turn rock and metal into liquid? Probably.
Probably.
We believe.
Hey,
so wait,
I'm doing a bunch of stuff, and then you throw a probably at the end of it.
So this science is 1905, and no one's challenged it really since.
Nobody cares. It doesn't affect us.
I never cared till this moment.
I never
started
cared
talking about it
because, like, I
don't even know how we got to talking about the center of the core.
Before we even started talking about it, if you would have looked at me in the middle of nowhere and been like, "Hey, Mike, what's the middle of the Earth made of?" I would have been like, "Lava."
But we now know it's probably molten nickel and iron. Anytime somebody asks me, I'm going to be like, it's probably molten nickel and iron ore. Based on seismic waves, we got.
Listen, pal, it's molten nickel and lava, and it's 7,000 and 9,000 degrees. Okay, and we came up with this in the 1900s.
How did you know that? Well, because 170 years ago, somebody dug 7 miles to a 3,000-mile destination
and used a calculator,
and they said, "Fuck, it's warmer here." So you know what that means, Bill? Shit, it's probably warmer. It probably keeps getting warmer. Fuck, write it down. Let's go.
Write it down. Make sure you write that down.
Who's going to challenge us? We're scientists. There's very few scientists.
Yes.
Am I becoming anti-science?
We are
I'm
using
pro-science.
we are using the scientific instruments.
We're both pro-science. Are we becoming anti-science?
I'm super pro-science, but like I've started to believe in nothing.
Yeah.
I've always like made the joke that I was a nihilist, that I believe in nothing, Zabowski.
Yeah, maybe
like,
too.
I've
always been that way.
I've always been kind of a nihilist and I believe in nothing, and I just think that everything we've ever been told is wrong.
Well, this is all obviously horse bucky.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of runaround. That's a bunch of runaround right there.
Everything I've read, every question we've asked, because I was like, gosh, man, we'll have to take this subject up again. I'm not.
We will, and
I won't be able to sleep tonight because I'm going to be fucking like, what?
I also wanted.
They just made this shit up.
They just made it up. They make everything up, and I would hate to start it right now, but like next time we'll talk about this again. Maybe go through some more scientific things that we don't understand.
And we will not we never pre-script any of the show.
We never pre-script any of the show. We just show up like, what do you want to talk about?
We don't even do that. We just
we don't even do that.
We don't even do that.
We have like a whole show before we even start the show because we're like talking for like an hour before the show, and we're like, oh wait. Let's start
record
with that.
Yeah.
And I hit record and we go into it. But like the mud flood thing really bothers me.
And then and
the mud flood thing bothers me.
We didn't get into the Grand Canyon being, they're saying they're pyramids and
we'll do that next time. We'll
start
with that, and just like how history has been kept from us. Like there is a real history that we don't know about because they kept it from us. And like the mud flood is one of them. That's a weird ass thing. It's really strange. And like the other thing that's really odd that doesn't make any sense are the World's Fair with those big buildings and everything.
What about? And
we've talked about.
Hey, what about World War III that's happening now? And let's say all these people die that we're talking about. We have 7 billion. Let's say 3 billion perish in this.
Yeah.
How do you imagine how this gets rewritten through history?
Oh God. Yeah. Well,
our grandchildren will get a totally different version of what than what happened.
Whoever wins will write it however they want to write it.
Yeah.
They'll say these bad people over here
it can have nothing to do with reality at all.
Nothing to do with reality at all. Whoever wins, I don't know who quoted this, but
the victor goes the spoils.
Yeah, but whoever wins the wars writes history.
Yeah.
And so, like, because they write all the history.
There's nobody to check you.
You got to remember that.
And what's the first? Saying, the people that do know the truth. This is what the people that do know the truth will soon be dead. We're just going to get on this mission of selling this fucking agenda.
And then guess what?
7,000 degrees, 9,000 degrees is 3,000 miles away.
Then we're gonna
never get there.
Then we're gonna make all the children go to these public schools, and we're gonna teach them it.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna make sure that that's the reality that we have, and that's where we're at.
Maybe you and I are now we're on this mission to just start. Hey, I think it could be good. It could make us learn a lot. Just start digging deeper into scientific theories.
Yeah, because I've always been like science, yes, and the other stuff, no.
No, yeah, me too.
And but I've really, and not just being a crazy conspiracy theorist, because I was a conspiracy theorist from like 2009 when I saw that UFO until like a couple years ago, and then I just kind of realized that nothing's right.
Nothing's what it seems.
Nothing's what it seems. It's nothing's right. That the things that they all tell us is wrong. It's all wrong.
Or
I feel it that it's wrong, and I know a lot of people feel that it's wrong.
Just some obvious Captain bullshit.
Yeah, just straight up. So
we'll keep digging because we're probably wrong.
We're probably wrong.
I'm
and
willing
we're
to
not,
be.
I'm
willing
not
to
a
be.
smart. I'm not smart scientifically, but I
have
think
common sense.
I have common sense, and I've always thought science was right. But like I said, like when they start throwing you all those figures and blah 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 at you, most people just go, fuck it. Science has got it.
He said seismic. I'm out.
It's like I know what seismic means, but whatever. I don't know anything. But like I just feel like that. Well, I watched JFK the other day, the Oliver Stone movie, and they're in court,
and that was 30 years prior to the information we have now. It would be even more.
It has not like this comment has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what I can't remember the prosecutor's name in court for the JFK.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He said science can say that an elephant can hang from its tail from a daisy if you give him enough money in a lab.
Yep.
And that's just, I was like, whoa, that's right. Yeah, science can prove anything if you throw enough money at it.
Yep.
Put it in a lab, and if the daisy could hold an elephant by the tail.
And if you're going in there too, you got to think too. Some of these programs that are funded like that, let's say the subject we were just talking about,
funded by the wrong people,
the core of the earth, and they're like, look, this is what we need you. We think this. If they told you, a bunch of young scientists, hey, we think this. We think it's molten nickel and iron. We think it's probably
brought
7
to you
to
by
9,000.
the Molten Nickel and Iron Company.
It's probably 7,000 to 9,000 degrees. It's about 3,200 miles away. We're gonna put you on lab. That's kind of what we're thinking's happening. You just let us know what y'all find. When they get like, fuck, I don't know how to figure anything. They start coming up with figures and mathematically, like, yep, that's until they get to the conclusion that they already started with.
Watch this.
Maybe.
Hey Siri, how far is it from New York City to Los Angeles, California?
One sec. I'm not sure how far away it is from New York.
So I don't know why
she's
she's saying that, but it's 2,444 miles. So a little bit further, we're at the center of the earth.
800 more miles.
800 more miles.
So
just go into flip America like this and add 800 miles in the ocean, and that's the middle of the earth.
That's right.
See, I think it's a lot bigger than that.
You think it's bigger than that?
I think the Earth's bigger.
That seems super deep. But
No Nothing's 52, number 52. I'm gonna have something where I can pull up screens and we can look at some things like maps and things like that. There's a really interesting map that somebody made a long time ago. It's called the Perry Reese map, and they map all, like, I think it's, I could be wrong right now, but it goes all the way down South America to the tip to Antarctica, and then it like adds some extra land on there that it's not there. So they ended up somewhere else. I may be 100% wrong about this. Well, I'll look it up again and see, but like this is what I kind of remember of it.
Yeah.
So like, but they were mapping the coast, and they ended up somewhere, Antarctica, somewhere else. And it was
crazy
on this map.
The globe just popped up as we're talking about it.
Oh yeah,
stuff's fascinating.
Everything is connected, I've found, and I feel like the way that they've made it to where it's just like technology is connecting everything, because like when you talk about something and you open your phone and then like it's on your phone.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's just because it can hear it.
It can hear you, but I think that's to cover up the fact that when I talk about something and I go turn on the TV, they say something exactly that I said. It's happened. It happens every day to me.
Well, just then there's been a picture of the globe in one of these paintings the whole show, and we're talking about it, and then all of a sudden the whole globe comes up in the center.
Yeah, so it's like we'll watch something or say something, and then I'll go surf through like, hey, let's watch this movie, and in the credits of like explaining the movie, it'll say like something that was just in the other movie, and these movies are made 20 years apart. And it's like, that is so
just weird
odd.
Connection stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that is so odd. It's word
simulation. It's part of the programming.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Why can't we make a simulation where everybody was just like everything? But they explain it in The Matrix, where they said, we made a simulation where everybody had everything, and it failed because human suffering, you all need human suffering to get along.
Well,
you don't get along.
Well, there's this about the simulation too. The only reason to run simulations is to see what happens.
The outcome.
You don't know the outcome. It's not predetermined, or there would be no necessity for a simulation. The simulation, no one knows how it ends.
Right.
That's the crazy part about it.
That is.
And with that,
we'll end with that. All right. Bye.
See y'all later. Peace. That's the longest one we've ever done.
Hour and 35.
Hour and 35 minutes.
You're good. Just pick it up.
Made it the whole show. Nothing fell. And then right at the end.
Right at the end. All right. Hit stop on that. Yeah. There you